Fueled by C4, Cellucor, and Extend. Use the code Clydesdale to get 20% off at checkout at c4energy.com. On Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the widest array of content here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier so you're first to know when new episodes are available. What is going on, everybody? We are live, Clydesdale Media, right here in the TTT studios. Just joking. I'm in the Maxell Hodge position. This is Perrin. We're in the hotel room. We're just waiting for Travis Mayer to show up.
Oh, that'd be nice.
No, we're actually live in Pasadena from a hotel room. We wanted to jump on, and there is Jess. What's going on, Jess? We just want to jump on and talk about some things we saw today, our day. We got into Pasadena yesterday. I took 2 Benadryl, crashed. Jamie tried not to wake me up. But anyway, besides that, she got up this morning. She went to a gym.
I did. I dropped in at Resistance CrossFit. I was going to go to the 6 a.m. Scott was still sleeping soundly. Wanted to let him sleep, so I went to the 8 a.m. class. Kind of happy I chose that one. Met some cool people, but there was snatch day and I PR'd my snatch.
Boom. Awesome stuff. And you got to work out with one of our athletes' families.
Yep.
So Logan Ewing's father, Steve, and his fiance,
Leslie.
And you kicked Steve's ass. And been talking smack about it all day.
Right.
PR'd your snatch, kicked Steve's ass.
Yep.
Day doesn't get any better than
Great morning. Good start.
Yeah. Now he tried to say he beat you in the snatch.
I was snatching.
But you were like, well, what about body weight comparison?
Right.
And he goes, we're not going. I can't remember what the name of that.
The Sinclair total.
The Sinclair total. So that was fun. You got to meet them. You and I kind of had a lazy morning, got some food, and then we headed over to the venue. And we got our media credentials and went on a tour. And at that point, we saw the brand new floor.
Right.
As Barbell Spin reported earlier in the week, CrossFit has decided not to go with a 2-floor system this week and just one consolidated floor. It is massive.
It is big. Bigger than the 20-lane floor over at Orlando.
Yeah. And so if we're looking at it vertically, so at the events 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, it comes down and it stops about 20 yards shy of the rubber ending.
Right.
So that's where the finish line is. And then if you're going horizontally, it's just a shorter floor, 20 lanes. The only weird thing is you can tell it's a last minute decision because the stands were not built to kind of cover that area with the extended part of the horizontal floor.
Yeah. Those end lanes are going to miss side viewing bleachers, but is what it is. Lots of people like to stand around at these things anyway. So,
but it is. I think it's going to be a vast improvement from the other event, and they'll be able to hopefully live stream every single event, professionally and not guerrilla style on a podcast like they did last week.
Right.
So we got a question from T. Kane. Is the time zone change affecting you guys? Why? Yes, it is. I am ready for bed right now. Hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of sleep last night because we passed out at we were fading at 6 p.m. last night. Let's be honest. Because we both got up pretty early.
If we didn't do an Instacart that was coming, we probably would have fell asleep at 6 o'clock.
Right. And then I think we ended up actually going to bed shortly after 8 p.m.
Yeah. And I woke up about 8 a.m. The 2 Benadryl were freaking awesome.
So, it's for me, it's not, I'm not a morning person. So, the fact that technically I'm gaining 3 hours, I feel better in the morning going to those things because it's 11 a.m. at home. Right. So it's great. in that aspect, but tired when we get back here. So
Rosie View Photography is asking, how's the lighting?
Oh, you would be so thrilled.
It is so much better than it is last week. I will tell you that our photographer this week still thinks they have to up the ISO. I told her the problems that were had last week, and she said she could tell by the edited posts that were being made that people had to crank the ISO just to get decent pictures. But it is far better this week.
Yeah.
Much brighter in the venue.
Yeah.
Than it was last week.
Yep. Agreed.
So our day was spent primarily getting interviews. Well, we watched a little bit of the team.
Well, yeah.
And then it was primarily about getting interviews with the athletes we've been following from the open through the season. What you learn is athletes' time and media time are two different times.
Yes.
So what was supposed to take like an hour, we ended up being down there for like two and a half hours. But we got to see everybody.
Yes.
I got to talk to everybody as they were coming in, which was really fun. And because on this show we have interviewed almost every one of these athletes, I felt like the mayor at the check-in, shaking everybody's hands, giving hugs, and it was really, really kind of cool. So we did that. We got short interviews with Kelly Baker, with Sydney McAlishan, with Emily Rolfe, Logan Ewing, and Matt Poulin.
Yep.
And they're all geared up and ready to go.
Yeah.
What was funny is Emily asking Jamie advice. She had heard that Jamie had tested the workouts.
Yeah.
So it was fun listening to those two talk a little strategy going into tomorrow.
Yeah, that was cool. I felt honored.
So we did that, and then we headed back up for some team stuff, and that action was crazy.
Yeah. I had only got to watch one heat of the first event, and I missed all of that in Orlando because that's basically when I was landing. I was a little bummed. I would have liked to see more of that because, man, that sandbag hold was just murdering people. So that one was, for me, fun to watch. I just like to watch people suffer like that. And then we got to come in and finish watching number 2, which I did watch in Orlando, and that one just had me in awe in Orlando of how nasty of a workout that is. And it didn't disappoint here either. I mean, that is just a brutal amount of thrusters, and the women move so fast. The men that have to keep up with them, you can tell the men are just trashed when they finish.
The one thing I thought was really cool in the team part of the muscle up workout is when there are women so good at ring muscle ups that they're the ones doing it and not the male. And the male's doing the bar muscle ups. And 2 of those people were Kelly Stone and Jessie Smith. And it was so much fun watching them. Jessie Smith and her ring muscle ups may be the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. Catching about right here and then just having a lockout. I actually have a little clip of it, so maybe we can get that a little.
Yeah, get that up somewhere.
Yeah.
Or we can load it up here, maybe have it on the show tomorrow.
They were so impressive. Even towards the end. I mean, just kept being strong.
Yeah, and a really cool story for us is there's Team Believe. They are in the final heat. One of their members is one of the first ever followers, listeners of this podcast. And it's really cool seeing her out on the floor. They did really well in event 2. We talked to Lauren. Her name is Lauren.
Yes.
Lauren Olson. And we talked to her prior or after event 1. They did not do as well in that as they had practiced because they didn't practice the switch of the sandbag double under. And that really, really, really took it out.
That was a game changer. I mean, if in Orlando, the team, like, you didn't expect that, and that was a game changer. So hopefully week 3 semis are taking note and really putting some work, figuring that order out, because it is important for that last athlete.
It is. And then, so look for Team Believe. It's one of our original followers. They crushed event 2. They were in second for a lot of it, but it came down to about 8 teams at the end, which was insane. And you get that many people on the floor at one time, it was really hard to follow. So T. Kane asks, how did Bethany Shadburn look? Rooting for her this weekend. That is one athlete we did not
What
see.
I'm saying, we commented one that, so yeah, there's two athletes we didn't see. Rebecca
Fuselier and Bethany
Bethany
Shadburn.
Shadburn were like the only two people that I can think of off the top of my head that we didn't see.
Yeah, it's and my guess is either she got in real early and took off, or was waiting right for the athlete brief at 5 o'clock, and we did not stay till 5 o'clock.
Right.
And they could check in anytime up until then. Elise, you were way too kind.
Elise.
I'll put that one up. I don't want to read it out loud, but she says, "Oh my goodness, you two look so cute." Well, thank you. So that was a lot of our day. The media room is not as posh as Orlando.
Yeah, not quite.
It's not even a room.
Nope, it's a curtained off area. Vendor Village has its own building, which is pretty cool. I actually feel like the Vendor Village seems a little more legit here. I think there's more vendors. And
The pro of it, I would say, is that it gets you out of the loud music, where you can actually talk and make a sale with a customer.
Yeah.
And where last week it was right off the floor. So you're trying to talk over the music. And I know we've been friends with Dave Newman and the people at ArcSmart here for a long time. He lost his voice day one in Orlando because of trying to talk over the music. He would like this setup much better.
Yeah, but yeah, we're in the back corner of that with just like a curtain. Still cold in there.
Says her. I disagree. I think everything's fine. Actually, if you go behind the start line where we have access to, it is so stinking hot with those sweaty athletes. Oh my gosh.
That's probably where I will be hanging out. So
yeah, it's been a fun first day.
Yeah.
I wore my Nobles today.
Yes.
I will not be wearing them tomorrow.
Not the comfiest.
Not the comfiest. And just if people are wondering, Noble does not have a retail space here this week.
Didn't seem here either.
So not here or Orlando, but they did kit out.
They did kit I saw
all the volunteers. Yeah. And Jamie's going to try to steal a two-pood belt that says semifinalist on it because she made semifinals as a master.
Yeah. And
she thinks she has a legit claim to get a two-pood belt that says semifinalist on it. Stay tuned. We'll find out if she gets one.
And you met some pretty cool people today. We met a ton of cool people today. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of them I've met before.
I know, but you got compliments from some greats.
And I will try to tell the story without getting too emotional.
Yeah.
But we were walking out. Jamie had called for the Uber, and we saw Allie, who is Colton Merton's fiance. And so we wanted to go over and say hi. And so we were talking to Allie, and I actually have one of Colton's first ever, get me to the game shirts. It's the old Muscle Hamster one with the mullet on it. And I wanted it signed so I could hang on my podcast wall. So I asked Allie, so I don't want to interrupt Colton. I said,
Great.
Would you mind taking this back to the room? Have him sign it. I'll get it from you guys sometime this weekend. And she said, sure. I leaned down. And by the way, we were talking to Nick Wadzombie.
Yeah, we were with Wadzombie
at the same time, who is so much fun to hang out with.
He's awesome.
I've been hanging out with him a ton today. So I leaned down to get a Sharpie to give Allie. I stick an apple in my mouth, and I get tapped on the shoulder, and I look up, and it's none other than Stacy Tovar. My first ever CrossFit crush. My favorite CrossFitter of all time. And she looks at me, and I am trying to speak with an apple in my mouth. And she says, no. I just want to tell you, I love your podcast. That I have used it for research for this event to learn about all the athletes that are coming here, and I've been binging it to catch up with all the athletes. I peed my pants on the spot.
Sorry, Uber driver.
Yeah. It was one of the highlights of my CrossFit life.
Yeah.
I don't think if I got that compliment from Dave Castro or Greg Glassman, I would be any more in shock or stunned or emotional about it. But when someone that you have followed her whole career and she says she loves your thing,
Right.
like, turn out the lights, party's over.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Mm-hmm. You're doing big things. It's good that somebody's highlighting these athletes and people can see their stories. And yeah, it was nice to hear from her. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And so now I probably won't sleep tonight. But, and at least that's what I feel like.
That's what I told them.
I feel that is the tipping point that made me believe that I've made it.
Yep, absolutely.
Scott, have you ever interviewed Miss Tovar? I mentioned that to her.
Uh-huh.
I've tried to get Stacy on the show before. And I've known Stacy a long time, her and her husband, Dustin. Our paths have crossed several times in life. And again, huge fan. But I dropped into her gym in 2015-ish, maybe.
Yeah.
And I dropped in just to see where she worked out. She came in to see me after I told the owner of the gym at the time, because she did not own it then. I told her my story. She came in to meet me. It was all over at that point. Then at the games, the year they had to wear the vest, I was the person who sized her for her vest. Got to chat with her during that time. And Dustin and I hung out in the pits a lot when I was volunteering back in the day. So became friends with them, seen them at Rogues, Legends, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, but I've never interviewed her. Never.
It's gonna happen.
That is on the bucket list. And we will definitely, after we get through semis, reach out again now that I know she listens, and we will try to have her on the show for sure. I may have to have a co-host that day, but sure, because I will be a fanboy for sure. So, but yeah, it's been a fun day already, and the individuals haven't even taken the floor.
Right. Yeah, it was already kind of busy in there. I'm excited to see the crowds on Friday, Saturday.
That, because Orlando Thursday crowd,
yeah,
I mean, there were some people, but there were quite a few people in there today.
Mm-hmm.
The main sides were pretty full. I'd say 70%, 80% capacity.
Yeah, I'm actually nervous with how full it's going to be and where people are going to go with this. And maybe it's because it's the one floor, and maybe that spread some of the traffic out at Orlando. So yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, because the pit entrances are smaller.
Yes.
The pits are smaller.
Yes. Longer. So I guess there's room, but like, yeah, it's different.
And yet it looks like more people will be crowding the fences around the pits, because if the stands on a Thursday afternoon are at 70% capacity, Saturday's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
And it is loud in there. Like it is louder than Orlando for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get those final heats, it's going to be, some screaming going on in there.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. But yeah, so let's go ahead and preview event 1.
Okay.
We're on.
All right.
You ready for that?
Sure.
Did I catch you off guard?
No, that's all right.
I just want to beat you during the pick, so that way I've already thought about it and I catch you off guard.
All right. Well,
so let's remind the viewers what event 1 is.
Event 1 is your long one that's supposed to be the endurance test, but more of a sled pull test. So we got the 3,000 meter bike, 3 lengths of the sled pull, 2,000 meter run, 3 lengths of the sled pull, 1,000 meter ski, 3 lengths of the sled pull. And the last one's just a little bit longer because they got to pull into the finish line
Yep.
on an interesting sled.
So we learned a lot last week.
We did learn a lot.
I think our picks, we did not even see the sled when we made our picks last week.
Right.
Now we've seen the sled.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the women.
Okay. For my women, I think, well,
See, I caught her off guard.
yeah.
Just to dive into the notes.
Well, I reserve the right once I see the lanes to change my pick because I still think this is going to be lane dependent. That was my big gripe last week, and looking at the floor, I feel like this is going to be lane dependent. But I'm going to pick Katrin. I think she does well.
You're going to pick the sled dog to win the sled event?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that who you're going to pick?
No.
Okay.
So we've learned the machines are not relevant.
Right.
I truly believe that this is going to come down to Freya.
Okay.
Or Danny.
I can see Danny. I mean, we'll see how the runner goes. Because like I said, if the sleds are moving any better here, then I think it is going to have some run impact. So I'm still going to pick somebody who has some.
It's still a rubber floor.
I know.
It's still seamed together.
I know.
And with that, Danny's going to pull that sled.
Yeah.
And she will have less grip effect than others.
Yeah.
Freya is a super strong, low to the ground athlete.
So one of the comments I heard last week was some of the taller athletes had a better pull.
So that is my dark horse then.
Yeah.
That is Meredith Swindle.
There you go.
Meredith Swindle is my dark horse pick to come out of this and to be in the top heat.
Christine Kohlenbrander would be my secondary pick.
Well, that is not a dark horse.
It's just my secondary.
And I told you who my other dark horse was, which was
Aaliyah, right?
Yeah, Aaliyah Miller.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Aaliyah Miller.
Yeah.
So those are ours.
Yeah.
So Danny, Freya for me, Aaliyah, Meredith, dark horse.
Yeah, Trent, Christine for me.
Do you have any dark horses?
No. We got any?
Elise says Olivia Kay, Sydney Michelishin, Hattie Canyo. I think this field is not getting the credit it deserves. Sydney could crush this.
Oh, I would if Elise. Well, I don't want to tell you I'm going against you. I would pick Olivia if those are your girls you have to pick from, personally. No, nobody. They can't.
I think. Yeah. So Elise is asking between these women, I would go Sydney. It's a machine run, not a land run, and she is super strong. And this is a very deep field at the top.
I think that is actually a decent pick.
T. Kane says Bethany Shadburn.
Mm-hmm.
We
didn't see her today, so I can't.
We didn't. Yeah, I did not see her today.
Yeah.
And I think that I am so worried about Bethany's back.
Yeah, I agree. Until I see her out on the competition floor moving, it's going to be tough to.
Nobody wants Bethany to do well more than I do. Like, I want her to do so well, but I got to see it at this point.
I agree.
And Emily, I think, can do well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she'll be fine on the machines.
Yeah, Emily will do. Yeah,
she'll kill the machines.
Yep.
It's just, will she get a good lane for the sleds? So Kenneth is taking furious notes. Elise tells Kenneth to get out of here. She doesn't get any of the advice. He doesn't get any of the advice. What about Bailey Rail? She always seems to be left out of convos, but does well. I don't think this is her event.
I don't think this is her event either. Man, some of those smaller girls in Orlando just really, really.
Even smaller, who I think are fairly strong
Yeah.
and technical,
Hmm.
didn't do well in this event.
Yeah. I would be a little worried for her in this one.
Yeah. So then we go over to the men.
Yep.
Do you want me to go first?
I guess. Don't steal my pick.
So my pick for this is going to be Pat.
Okay. I think that's a great pick.
I think this is one of those experience is going to play a role.
Mhm.
And I think he will just be slow and he'll be steady.
Mhm.
The machines won't affect him.
No.
And he'll figure out the sled pull some way, somehow.
Yeah.
Dark horse pick. I need to think about my dark horse. I'll
Yeah.
let you go with it.
So my pick is Cole Sager. What?
Okay.
We watched him pull that rescue Randy. He's like that dude
I
is
know.
good at.
Yeah, that was like 1997.
Oh, yeah, I know. He just keeps showing up. My husband and I say that. We just watch him. Like he just keeps doing well. He just shows up. There's always an event he's like top 5 in that you're like, damn, this guy's still that good.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be
like
one.
you said it, and I was like, the reason I did is because you're right. And he's lately his peak has been semis,
Yeah.
and that this is right up his alley.
Yep. This one up his alley.
This is old football
Yeah.
workout.
Yes. Yeah.
T. Kane says Mitch Stevenson would be my dark horse pick. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like that.
We talked to Mitch today. Dude is jacked.
Yeah.
Jacked.
Yeah.
And
Isaiah Vidal, I hear you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the thinking behind Isaiah. Phil Muscarella, I like. He's a strong lower body athlete, longtime soccer player. I don't know about that grip though.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be grippy.
Mm-hmm.
We heard from Logan, who actually gave us that he completely is going to change his strategy on machines to save his grip for the sled.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of athletes from Orlando came back with that sentiment. And like figured out after the bike that they needed to back off their pace so they could pull harder. So yeah.
His comment was he's going to change the way he does the bike by pushing more than pulling.
Secrets.
I don't think the other athletes are watching tonight.
You're right. Yeah, I agree.
So look for that tomorrow. Logan is going to be pushing on the bike and not pulling as much to save his grip for the sled pull.
Mm-hmm. There's something else I was going to say there to that.
I love Logan. Logan has become a friend of mine. I want to see him on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen him live since he's been with Roman for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So all you can go by are like open scores,
right?
Quarterfinal scores. I don't know. I want to see him out on the floor under the lights with the pressure and what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your other top dogs. Your Paderos is going to do well at literally probably. He's going to be in the hunt on every workout this weekend.
Frustrating.
So we won't pick him this in anything really. We'll just let he'll be up there. He's just consistent.
He is. We saw him today. Jamie now has a restraining order. She's not allowed to touch his curls. We won't tell the story, but it was an ugly scene. And she's no longer allowed to touch Justin's curls.
For those of you that know me and follow me and know my son, his hair is like identical to Justin. So I'm gonna have to ask him what product to use so I know what to get my son.
Yeah, so you grab him when he comes off the floor. Great. After
grab those
Linda. hold out your restraining order, hit stand back 10 feet, and ask him what product he uses.
Yeah.
So with that, we just wanted to hop on real quick. It feels really late for us here. It would be 11 o'clock for us on the East Coast.
Jeez.
And yeah. And Jamie's making me work out in the morning.
We are. We're gonna go back to that gym for the 6 a.m. class. But yeah, it's like 9 a.m. at home. We'll be almost ready to work out.
Okay, sure. But with that, guys, thank you for jumping on with us. This was fun. We'll do some more picks tomorrow night. Do we want to pick two while we're on
I
here?
don't know. Should we do 2 so we don't have to do it midday and try to go live?
Yeah, let's do it. Event 2 is the
Ruck muscle up.
Ruck
Woo!
muscle up. Are we going to have any 0 scores?
Yes, absolutely.
What is your over under on 0 scores male?
Male 3.
I will go under.
You think it'll be less than 3?
For female, I'm going to say, I'll give you the number, then you can tell me over. Under.
Okay.
The number for female 0 scores will be 8.
Over.
Over.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little now they say that they've had longer to practice. They have figured out that they don't have to, that it's not a complex because it's not unbroken, so it's not a complex, which I think is a game changer.
But I don't think this field's as deep.
That's what I'm like thinking because it was I think 8 women, so
it's deeper at the top.
Yeah.
But not deep to the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say maybe 9.
Kenneth says 15.
15 women with the 0. Dang, Kenneth.
Oh.
We're gonna find out.
Kenneth, I'll warn you now. We'll do another show tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We have it all set up now.
Yeah. Buenos on IG. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, the ruck muscle up. You want to do men first?
Men. Sure. Men, I will pick. Jeez. Why am I brain farting on this? You know what? I'm gonna take Logan on a flyer.
Okay.
Dude can muscle up.
Okay. So should have started with women because I truly think that this is going to be Merton. Colton's going to be like top 3 in this, and that kind of goes hand in hand with Tetlow. Although I think Colton's slightly stronger in the muscle up. But the shorter levers for the pistol, we saw in the 5 sort of slow people down last week, so I think he'll move quicker there than others. And he's strong, but you'll see when I get to the women, I feel like the bigger athletes ended up faring better in this just because they can handle that ruck better. So I will be curious where Colton really falls in this, but I think he's gonna be up there.
Well, I think the way when you said that, I was like, man, I hate her because that is a great pick. The man has grip strength for days, which actually makes him really good for the sled pull.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he can hang on a bar forever. He can hang on rings forever. He's going to kill that complex.
I think so too.
And then the short levers for the pistols.
Yeah.
And then it's just getting over 30-inch box.
Yeah. That'll weigh him down a bit. That's a long way to get up and over.
He is not a small, short guy.
No, yeah.
His body can handle it.
Yeah.
And then Kenneth says Uncle Pat.
Of course.
Of course. I can't pick him every event though.
You just realize we aren't picking Maderos, and we're trying to not be the people who just pick. Like, just know that we're the underdogs.
Right. Yeah. You see who we interview. We interview everybody. Yeah. We want everybody to get their due. And really, I honestly think that Logan is a really good muscle up person. I think this is a time for him to shine. I've never seen him do a weighted one, but I think he's going to do well. On the women's side,
you want me to go first?
Sure.
Christine Kohlenbrander. She did great at Zelos in that muscle up. that interval one. Same idea. And I think she'll handle the ruck.
We didn't see her today.
Yes, we did.
I missed
And
her.
I pointed her out twice. She was with Jared Stevens.
All right.
They're hard to miss. They're
Oh,
such a beautiful couple.
they are. I can't believe I missed her. For this one, for me, I like Emily.
Okay.
I like Emily on this one. Flyer on this one, Amy Hosking.
Okay.
I think she's very good at gymnastics moves. She's not weak. And so I think she'll be able to handle the ruck. Let's take a flyer with her. I think she's going to do even better in a later event, but we'll talk about that then.
I'm excited to see how Rebecca Fuseli does on this one. I don't know if the ruck will, because she's so much smaller, if the ruck will. So I'm just really excited to see how she does on this one.
Yeah, and it's the long rings.
Yeah.
Like I saw her at Wadapalooza struggle just catching the rings. And depends on how much they start floating.
Yeah.
But yeah. No women's picks from the audience, so they must have fallen asleep.
Oh, darn.
On the East Coast.
It is late.
But with that, I think that's everything. We'll hop back on tomorrow. I'll leave the camera set up so when the maid comes in, they think bad things.
I will. Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're used to seeing microphones with it, but you know.
Oh gosh.
Chloe's just going to be good at everything. She's the Medeiros of the women's side. I don't think she'll win anything.
Yeah.
But I bet you she's top 10 a lot.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see her too.
Yeah. Chloe is a firefighter. She'd be good at the ruck.
She may be really good at the first one too.
She might be. Oi.
No. We're gonna find out tomorrow.
I don't know why I just leaned back because now I can't hit the off button.
You're hanging out with us all night, guys.
So with that, guys, it's been such a fun day.
It has.
But we've got to go so we can do a workout in the morning. Pray for max back squat. And then I can at least hang with these people. I think Mayhem may show up there tomorrow.
Yeah, I think this is the Resistance is the gym that they're supposed to have the Mayhem crowd at. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Thanks, Kenneth. The microphones match the shirts and the logo. Of course, man. I'm a fashionista. Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. With that, we will check you all out tomorrow night. Everybody sleep well, and we will see you all then. Bye, guys.